So in this video, I'd like to go over how I made the hands. I started with lasering out the blanks. You could use a coping saw, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to add a 3D effect, make them look more antique, because just lasering out, they don't look authentic. So what I did is with small diamond bit burrs, took quite a bit of time. You can see just rounding off edges, trying to give some 3D look to that design I had made on those blanks. So you can see this took a good amount of time. Right here I'm working on the minute hand. But I switched over using different bit styles, very small ones to kind of give a 3D relief to certain sections. You'll see how that looks in a bit once we get a little farther along. But this is what it started with, and you can see what it changes into. So you can see that 3D effect. And then if we take a look at the hour hand, you can see the start, and then you can see how that 3D effect. I think it came out good. It really helps that thing pop. Gives it a much more antique, a better look than just a laser cut part. But then what we need to do is we need to blue them. The technique I use, I get a small hot plate, and then I had just an old piece of brass that I was going to cut a big wheel out of. I never did. But any metal on there to distribute that heat off of the hot plate. And then I just used some brass filings and then heat it up. I found a hot plate seems a little more controllable than hitting underneath a brass tray with a torch. And you can get good results with this. You see there the big parts, you take a little more time. I use pressure kind of accelerate where it's not heating up. Try to push those filings underneath. But big parts like this with different thicknesses aren't simple to blue like a screw. But I find it's satisfactory. So you can see there the color starting to change on this. Let's take a look at the finished product. So I'm quite happy. I think it looks authentic. Hope you liked it. If so, please subscribe, and we'll be back with more as I continue along this build for this long case clock we're making here.